Hi, this is Clay Dixon, and joining me is,
Grayson Brookshire.
and we are here at the KHSAA Class 1A Girls State Cross Country Championship, and we are lined up and ready to roll out on our first state meet of the day, and they are away. We got, let's see how many entered today. We have 182 runners out there ready to go out there and give it their best. It's looking like 50 degrees, slight wind. It's a little chilly out there, so you might see a lot of people with gloves and hats on out there. But basically, you can't ask for any better cross-country weather. Grayson, just tell us a little bit about this course.
The course has actually seemed to have gotten a little bit faster over the years. We've raced here for many years now, and never really seen too many fast times. You go through this first paddock, and then into the backwards paddock with which has one hill, and then you come back into this first paddock and loop around into the finish, which has a little bit of an incline. As you see right now, they're going through the start, which is about 200, 300 meters just straight, trying to jostle for position as they go around the first turn.
Again, this is about 400 meters into the race, and typically you see a lot of the runners out there go out really fast. You may see some kids go out there 60, 65 seconds through that first quarter, some of the faster races. Some of these girls may be going out in 70 seconds, which might be faster than. I mean, that's sub four, that's 40-mile pace right there. So it's really critical to get out at a good spot, but not too hard.
These races get out quick anyway in the first mile. Almost every year they're on course record pace through a mile, and then everyone else kind of settles into position. So we'll just see what the ladies in 1A have out here for us today.
All right, girls to look for today. You got Shelby Watkins. She is the fastest regional time. She did a 19:14. Be looking out for Kendall Hayes from Lexington Christian, a freshman. She did a 19:47, and be looking out for Rebecca Howard from Glasgow, an 8th grader. She did a 20:10 last week at regionals. So those are your top 3 fastest times. Also be looking out for the St. Henry girls, Renee Svek, Elizabeth Hoffman, and Holly Blades. And here you got, that's Selena Mattingly from Williamsburg in the lead. She's a freshman.
Followed by Kendall Hayes, Rebecca Howard leading that little chase group out there. Kendall Hayes has some pretty good track times. She got second in the 800 this past season in the state track meet with a 2:21. So she's got some speed. She has around 11:30, 11:40 for a 2-mile as well. So she's got that speed and endurance combo, and she's leading right now, just about 5 meters ahead of that little chase pack.
What do you mean, Mattingly?
Yes, Mattingly.
Okay. All right, yeah, Mattingly, she's currently in the lead in that orange top, and it's looking like Watkins and Hayes moving up right now. Or no, that's a Glasgow runner, Howard. Nicholas County runner in 4th, Shelby Watkins. Mattingly, what place she ended up last year? I know she came in 13th fastest time this year.
Last year in the state meet, she got 3rd place, so looking to improve upon that this year.
See, leading that chase pack is one of the St. Henry girls. St. Henry looking to go out there and take another state title. Them and the girls and the boys team both dominate in 1A. Battling out, especially with the Bishop Brossard team. Here as they approach the 1-mile mark. Leaders approaching 6 minutes. Let's see what they hit that mile in.
You can see they really marked out the miles with those mats this year, helping it for us to judge on what time they are at, and they come through in 5:57 for the leaders, and that little small chase pack behind them is about 6:04. And then you see a big pack of runners approaching the mile right now. And around 6:25 is the time, so they're not too far off.
Those mats allow you to get a gauge on their time. Right here in the positioning, it looks like that's Mattingly, Watkins, Howard, Kaylee Perry from Morgan County. Renee Savet, Krista Perry, Mookie Kuhlman, Haley Holbrook, Emily Woodward, and Kendall Hayes.
And as you can see right there, they're entering the second paddock that we were talking about earlier. Another part of the mats is that they all have chip times now, so they're wearing the chips on their shoes. So that makes it easier for us to get splits at each mile marker. So mile 1, mile 2, mile 3, and then obviously the finish will have it there too.
Moving into the second paddock now. Get a good downhill stretch. A little windy out today, so see how this affects today's strategies. Again, they make a lot of the runners out here typically make their move on the 1.5 mile hill. So in about 600 meters, be looking out for the leaders to just go out there and, well, see what they do.
Yeah, the goal of that first mile is to just stay calm and comfortable the best you can. It's going to go out hard, and then see what you can do in this second paddock where you go from mile 1 all the way to about a 1K to go before you get into that second paddock, or that first paddock again, my bad. As we pan back to your leaders up there, far on the other side of the paddock, it is Selena Mattingly and Shelby Watkins side by side now. So Watkins is pulled up to Mattingly as they've created a pretty big gap, and there's Howard and then Hancock and Kaylee Perry from Morgan County.
One runner to look out for, University Heights Mookie Kuhlman. She's at a 5K PR of 2012, 4K of 15:58, and a 3K of 11:26. She is a freshman, I believe. Yeah, she's a freshman, so looks like she's never run any track races. There's nothing on her profile about it, so but she's been doing very well this season. She's up there in the top 10 or 15 right now. But here's the hill, 1.5 miles in, and we got two runners in the lead, with Mattingly leading for most of the race. It has about a 5-meter gap on, that is Shelby Watkins, the senior, racing against some of the younger runners. We got a freshman, some 8th graders up front, a couple of seniors, and Watkins and Renee Savet.
Really, outside of Watkins and the St. Henry pack, this is a really young group going forward. They've been on the scene for a while, but still very young, and a lot of experience for these young girls already, though.
Yeah, I mean, I have trouble keeping track of Selena Mattingly. We've been announcing her for about 3 years now, and I mean, she's only a freshman now, and here she is leading her state meet.
Same goes for Rebecca Howard. She's been racing since she was in 5th or 6th grade at this level, and she's only an 8th grader right now. So she's one of the top middle school talents coming out of Glasgow. She won her region in a time of, I believe, around 2010. So she's hanging on there in 3rd right now.
She might be actually gaining on them a little bit. Mattingly went out pretty hard there, it looked like. Started taking just in that first quarter or so.
I believe their first 800 was around 245, 250, so they went out pretty hard just trying to separate themselves from the rest of the field. As you see Renee Savet up there and Kaylee Perry. As more of the runners come from just conquering that one hill in the back, and they're going to wind around this little half circle and then go right back down that hill.
Yeah, you're going to need to. Actually, I could still be the finish. It's just
a lot of the team race coming from this part of the pack.
I could be at the finish if you do interviews.
You see 2 girls from one team up there just kind of leading that little group.
Ooh, a big downhill section here, and Mattingly's taking advantage of that. She opened up about a 20-meter gap on Watkins. See if Watkins can respond. She is a senior, so she probably has a pretty strong base of doing this for years and years now. Last year, Mattingly did a 1923 as an 8th grader, surrounded by a group of seniors. So she's the top returner here. Caroline Gosser won last year's Class 1A from presentation. She runs for, what school does she run for now? Xavier, I believe. She did 1812. Rebecca Howard or Watkins came as is the 4th fastest returner this year, behind Renee Savek and Holly Blades, St. Henry runners. Rebecca Howard is the 5th fastest returner, so along with Kaylee Perry, she is one of the top returners as well. So they approach the 2-mile mark. Mattingly with about a 10-20 meter gap on Watkins.
Mattingly comes through in about 12:14. Watkins about 12:18. And here comes Howard in around 12:28.
So it looks like not much has changed since last year's state meet, as considering positioning from the returners. Just a lot of graduates this past season.
Another note on just to gauge an idea of the talent in this field, Gosser went on to run for Xavier in college. Gowarecki, who got 2nd, went on to run for Bellarmine. And Maddox Patterson, who got 4th last year, right behind Mattingly, is now running for University of Florida. So 3 of the top 4 went on to run for, in the college level and are having some pretty good success out there.
Kendall Hayes, I believe last year she was running for Woodford County at this time. So that would have put her in the 3A division. She transferred schools this past season. Let's see if I can find. Yeah, she placed 57th last year in the 3A state meet. Now she's here in the 1A division and looks like she's in the top 15 right now. See if she can improve on that on the last mile of the course. But Watkins, she's got about a 30-40 meter gap now as Mattingly has put down the hammer.
Yeah, Mattingly in the last 400 has really opened up that lead and starting to hold on to that gap a little bit. We'll see if she can hold it the last 1200 or so, but it looks like she's going pretty strong. As you can see, that's Mattingly right now, coming toward the end of this second paddock.
Up next, we'll have the 1A boys race.
There's Shelby Watkins, second place runner right now, showing you just a little bit of the gap right now.
Mattingly, your current leader. See if she can hold on this last K. Basically all downhill from here. Only a freshman. Watkins, a senior. She's been yo-yoing about this race basically the entire time. Catching up to Mattingly and then falling back a little bit, but working her way right back up now. Rebecca Howard consistently been moving up the entire way. And there is the St. Henry, Morgan County, University Heights, Luki Kuhnman. Looks like I saw another Morgan County runner. That's Krista Perry, the younger sister of Kaylee Perry.
About 800 to go. That's Selena Mattingly with a pretty decent gap. And then Shelby Watkins. Just focused, eyes up, looking at Mattingly, trying to gain and close that gap as much as possible. There's Rebecca Howard coming through. She's closed that gap between her and Watkins a little bit. We'll see if she can close any more on this last 800. Renee Savek right there.
Very diverse crowd out here today. We have Selena Mattingly from Williamsburg. She's from the southern part of the state. Watkins from Nicholas County. That's in the northeastern part. Glasgow, that's out in the western part of the state. You got Morgan County duo. They're from the southeastern part of the state. St. Henry, northern part. We're coming in with just a little over 200 meters to go. Mattingly, who's been leading the entire way, looking like she's going to claim her first cross-country state title.
Just coming up on the 3-mile mark right there.
Wire to wire today, looks like. That is Watkins holding on to second place right now. Howard been closing in the entire time.
Mattingly really pumping those arms now. She can see the finish, and she's just trying to close this one out.
She had 19:23 at this meet last year. So it looks like she's going to improve on that time quite a bit. Mattingly, your girls 1A state champion.
And in the first race of the day, Selena Mattingly with sub 19, around 18:52, 18:53 for the state title in 1A girls.
Watkins looking like she's going to get second as Howard beginning to close in. Howard's been eyeing her down the entire time, and it's looking like she's making a big move here, just trying to close it down, but I believe not enough real estate for her to take down Watkins. Senior from Nicholas County, closing in 19:19. 19:21 for Rebecca Howard. Looks like Morgan County, Kaylee Perry, Renee Savette. Here comes Krista Perry, the 7th grader. Nikki Kuhlman, the freshman from University Heights, in the green top. Haley Holbrook and Beechwood, or Hancock County's Emily Woodward. Here comes Kendall Hayes, Lexington Christian. 2 more St. Henry runners. Those Holly Blades and Elizabeth Hoffman. And Celeste Bergman coming out of Covington Holy Cross. I believe the top 10 get a podium spot today. Here comes Bishop Brossard's first 2 runners, Kendall Schuler and Becca Schroer. Those are your top 15 runners there. Team title, it's looking like St. Henry pretty much has sealed the deal, waiting for that 5th runner. Or she may have just run past, I may have missed her right there. But I saw 4 in the top 20 at least, and that's going to be pretty hard to beat. But battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It'll be pretty tight, it looks like. Not sure just who it is just yet. As they're just bringing everybody in right now.
Looked like Bishop Brossard had 3 in, right behind the St. Henry pack.
Now Brossard had I believe 3 girls in the top 20, and then they had another in the top 30. And just looking for that 5th runner. I believe she's in now, but not enough to bring down St. Henry. Beechwood they had a pretty good showing. Someone in the top 10 and a couple in the top 30. With St. Henry District, we're getting scores coming through right now. St. Henry with 4, 9, 10, 14, and 23. According to our rough calculations, it's going to put them around 60 points. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, not sure just yet, but it's looking like it's going to be Beechwood and Bishop Brossard. Where you can check out the results online at kytrackxe.com. Let's look at the Kentucky State cross-country meet. We're wrapping up over here. St. Henry District looking like they're going to get the team title here in girls 1A with Selena Mattingly for the win on the individual side here at the girls 1A state XC meet. Coming in first place is Selena Mattingly from Williamsburg. place was captured by Nicholas County's Shelby Watkins. She did a time of 19:17. Third place was 8th grader Rebecca Howard from Glasgow. Race results: St. Henry District, score of 60, winning over Beechwood, Brossart, Walton Verona, and Villa Madonna. For girls, Class 1A.